Well, they were kind of right on the temperature this morning. 42 degrees. They said 43. And the moon's hiding up there yet. It looked better about 10 minutes ago. Anyway, we'll see what today really brings. Ty's thinking we might want to get a load to the auction, get them taken down tomorrow instead of waiting until Friday. Auction isn't until Saturday. Weather may be part of the deciding factor, and the other is it sounds like there's going to be a college football game down at Eugene. We got to go through there, which can be a pain in the ass. Friday could be a real pain. So that's what I know. Forgot to figure out our rain total for the rain year, since it's different than everything else. Okay, here we go. That's current. That's October. Now we're at November. 48.18 inches for 2022-2023. 45.6 for 21-22. And yeah, I've cleaned off others. Average, not average, because with the large amounts in a couple of those summer months. Yeah. Anyway, thought I'd show you that. Well, pushing 50 inches. If the dogs weren't in the way, I could walk through here. Got a few things put away. Still gotta put this away. That was my homemade hot knife. It's a piece of stainless. Didn't really work out so well. It works, but you can see how it's slightly bent. The cheap Hobo Freight one works a whole lot better. There, I found a little bit of sunrise. Feeling a couple of tinkles too. Anyway, some feeding done, and Ty's hiding over there in the trailer with Blakely, probably waiting for Becky to get out of bed, or they're just sitting there. Either way, somebody's got to get feeding done. Things you remember as you go through stuff. This saw is actually two, because I remember welding it together, painting it to make one out of it. And yeah, if you notice, things aren't exactly perfect, but they're really close. Close enough for hanging on the wall. It may have come from Becky's folks' place. I don't remember now. But somebody had made two short saws out of it. And it was like, well, they weren't too much good the way they were. Yeah, I know, it's upside down. Swift Premium roast beef. And of course, Giant. Everything for blasting. Oh, yeah. My ribs are feeling all of it today. Atlas Powder Company. Wilmington, Delaware, USA. High explosives. And all that information is stamped in on the part of the lid that's still here. I thought that was pretty cool. I got it cleaned up enough to see that much. And that box has everything on it. But there, that's stuff that's going to go either back to the house or the container or whatever. Trying to make room to nose the little Freightliner in here so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a wire from the left headlight over to the right headlight for the high beam. Because, I have no idea why that is such low voltage. It's low enough that it's probably not going to do the LED lights any good at all. And yeah, fun running stuff through the gauntlet here. But look, with some of the stuff out of here, there's room to tuck a chair here and there. I still got 3 more to deal with. And that stuff, yay. At least I know those 2 radios are good, and so are the 2 brake controllers. We just got to figure out what other radios aren't good, because I know we have a few that have issues, and they just haven't found their way out of here yet. All kinds of good stuff in here. Stuff I ain't even seen yet, for a while anyway. Right? Oh well, let's see what I can get down here. Well, we have a bright on this side now. I think somewhere in this loom, I think they're kind of wore through. A little wear mark right there, but that's a long ways from being through. So I spliced in there, taped up the end. I got to put some zip ties on there yet. And it hits on here. That's just the air intake. There's a hole in the bottom. Goes for the filter. I may just cut a piece off of that. That way it can't rub on it. And this side over here, it was going to be kind of a pain in the ass to get 2 wires into one, crimp them together. So I said, screw it. Stripped a section and soldered it on. So anyway, now we have bright lights on both sides. The funny thing is, this dim is a little dimmer than that one. It's not a lot, but a little bit. One of those things makes no sense. And I told Ty, I said, well, shit, we should have checked that first. Could have run 2 wires. You know, one over, one back. Anyway, I gotta dig my liquid tape out, put on there where I soldered it, and then tape that up, get the loom back over it. See, this side's got just a rubber flap, and it hits on the clamp. The spot right there hits on the clamp that holds all the wires. The other side, that other piece don't give, so can't help but wonder. Oh, and while I was at it, this headlight bucket, it's all in pretty good shape. It's stuck in here. It's been repaired before, you can see there. I did a bunch of work on the front of this when we got it. And then Thailand was back in my pickup, out of the way. This thing was nosed out of the, actually right where my pickup is in the big bale barn. This was sticking out about that far, and tailgate was down on my pickup, and she backed it up. And she caught it here and busted here and here, and we needed the truck right away, so that was one of those. Cut some wood to fit and get it back together. And obviously this has been repaired before. And well, glue or epoxy? That's Gorilla Glue I put on there. It says clamp it. Well, guess what? I put 4 screws through. It's solid. It moves with the fender now and everything else, not by itself. So little improvements. But like I said, get my liquid tape out and then get that taped up, and probably cut that other piece out of the way so it doesn't hit. Now I got me a loader reject, and Corey gets to see his niece. He sees her almost every morning anyway, and most of the little reject's gonna go right there, but not today. When we run her out of fuel and we first got her started again, it smoked like crazy. Well, yeah, because, 1 or 2 injectors were getting a little fuel through, but not enough to fire it, so it filled the exhaust full. That did the same thing this morning. Just did it again when I fired it up. And it wanted to die. And I got to thinking, that's the shut-off, and it didn't have a spring on it. Well, there's all the way off, and there's where it was sitting. So, got a spring on there. it still tried to die on me, which that kind of leaves supply pump, which that was new when we bought the truck. Why would the supply pump be bad? I don't know. So now I'm hoping it'll make it down to Eugene and back, but I got to adjust the back brakes. This thing has automatic slack adjusters on it, and I'm sorry, I have never had any use for them. They really aren't worth a shit in my opinion, because they usually won't adjust. Then if they do, they'll tighten up too tight. That's the experiences I've had with them. But anyway, grab a bite to eat, adjust these, and go from there. Adjusted the brakes yet. Got to thinking at lunch and doing some figuring. Yeah, for the first time in 60 years, somebody else is going to haul our cattle to the auction. Got a friend that does that. Happens to be the same guy that we get some cattle supplies from, like Milk Replacer, and sometimes we get wormer from him, that kind of thing. Anyway, I asked him how much it would cost. Well, hell, for what he's charging, my time out of the day, bad enough getting them all up and loaded up, but then headed down there, it's kind of hard not to say, yeah, here, do it. He's going to do it this year anyway, because I'm just not sure what this truck's going to do. I'm going to get the brakes done and take it for a sprinter on the block, and hopefully it will be able to haul some steers into freezer camp on Sunday. But now we're going to have a load hauled tomorrow, and he'll probably be here in the morning for that. And then auction is actually Saturday, so he's going to come get another load first thing Saturday morning to head down there, and we'll get our yearly paycheck. This last year's paycheck already ran out. Anyway, I'll lay down here and deal with these things. Like I said, I hate automatic slack adjusters. Hey, look, something's missing. I didn't take it for a spin. I got the brakes adjusted up, and I thought, I wonder how much fuel's actually in it, because fuel truck filled it when he was here, topped it off. Yeah, it's not clear full, which is a good thing. It would appear that the fuel we took out of the Volvo out back wasn't exactly good. It's kind of a cloudy yellowish green color. So tomorrow, if it's not raining too hard, among doing other things, Ty's going to bring Maury's pump back out, and we're going to pump her out and put clean fuel in it. Just what I wanted to do. Can't blame anybody else but myself. One of those things, doing what I could do to get the damn thing running, and shouldn't have. On a plus note, I checked the tank in the pumpkin. He filled that right up to the brim. Perfect. Beautifully clean fuel. And I checked the tanks in the blue truck. I told him it doesn't have to be clear full, but 3/4 or so, and that's what it is. Perfectly clean fuel. See the bottom of the tank with a flashlight. So yeah, oops. We're gonna fill the tank on the Volvo, and hopefully this stuff will settle out. And the rest of it, well, I guess it goes with waste oil. That, or just keep it in the tank somewhere and nurse a little in here and there. But I don't know. Anyway, and if you didn't see it, I put a video up at lunch today of Thailand explaining why she's got the bottle calf, and what they've done to try to keep from having a bottle calf. So go check it out. In the meantime, hey, thanks for watching and seeing the shithole here. Yeah, not like you haven't seen it before. Depending on what we get done with that truck, Sunday we got to take steers into freezer camp. The little trailer that's behind my pickup is full of stuff out of the container. It may end up in here on the shop floor for a little while. Hopefully not very long if it does. Hopefully we can use the Freightliner. It's so much nicer in there because it's kind of tight, so a gooseneck is nice and that little Freightliner turns on a dime. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you had a good hump day. Hope everybody has a great Thursday, and we'll see what November brings us.